With the news that Keon Ellis will join the likes of Malachi Branham to work out for the Cleveland Cavaliers, it's about time we take a look into what the Alabama wing could bring to the table. Alright, now as one of the older prospects in this year's draft, Ellis may seem to be a finished product, but I'm not so certain of that just yet. He will bring high-level defense to a Cleveland team that's true identity lays within its defensive capabilities. Now let's examine just what makes him such a capable on-ball defender. First off, Ellis showcases a lot of lateral movement and is able to take away a ball handler's space, which has got to be irritating for him. He's like white on rice when he's defending you. He's very hard to shake off. In today's spacing-defined league, the ability to shut down players on the perimeter by effectively closing out on them is a highly sought-after skill set. And with that said, the Alabama product has that skill in his defensive bag as he displays very fast reaction times when closing out on opponents. While I don't necessarily think the Cavs struggled to do that this season, there didn't seem to be enough guards or wings capable of doing this on the roster entirely. Isaac Okoro and Lamar Stevens were perhaps the team's best at it. He stays pretty grounded against the dribble and doesn't often bite on fakes. I mean, just watch him go to work one-on-one defensively. Cleveland could throw him out there for the sole purpose of stopping opposing guards, which is a tall task and one that Ellis is indeed up to. He could have some day one impact and viability in this regard. I'm not sure of his official wingspan, but basketballnews.com has his wingspan listed at about 6'8.5", which is more than enough to contest pull-ups, which he does very well. And when targeted in the pick and roll, he can still mount a pretty solid defense and contest shots. This is not going to be a player that teams can screen with a high level of effectiveness. He's definitely not afraid to be ISO'd and will make every conceivable effort to contest shots at the tail end of the shot clock too. And we just talked about how quick Vanderbilt's Scottie Pippen Jr.'s hands are. Keon Ellis's are much the same as he can steal the ball from ball handlers at the drop of a hat. Ellis will pick you up as soon as you cross half court too. And if you aren't shielding the ball away from him when driving into him, it's very likely that he'll take a few well-timed swipes at it, which can result in turnovers. He just displays a high level of body control and knows just how to use his size against you. And when rotating, Ellis can block or alter shots from behind as he attempts to recover. The guy just never seems to be too far out of a play. Okay, now let's take a look at perhaps one of the best skill sets he could bring to the table, and one that fits hand in hand with his defensive chops, and that is his ability to knock down catch and shoot attempts from range. This dude is a great spot-up option to have out there on the perimeter. I could definitely see Darius Garland or Colin Sexton driving inside and then kicking out to an open Ellis for a triple. And when you consider the dearth of possible ball handlers the Cavs could have next season, the idea of adding a player who is best suited to operate off ball doesn't sound all that bad to me. There's a reason why these types of players are coveted and typically never hit the open market. This is Ellis to a T. He could step right in and spot up in the corners and avoid the ball offensively. It's a beautiful shot, man, and he makes them seem so effortless. And due to his release being the way it is, it's pretty tough to bother him as a defender when closing out, even if you time it perfectly and are contesting high. Just throw him in the corner from day one and he'll knock down some shots for you. And I have no doubt that if you feature him in different lineups with Evan Mobley, who is one of the better passing bigs in the NBA, that Mobley will be able to find him out of short rolls off of Darius Garland feeds. There is some movement shooting inherently baked into his game as he can relocate with the best of them out on the perimeter, as well as free himself up off of screens for the open catch and shoot three as well. This is an area that JB Bickerstaff will be wise to exploit opposing teams on by having Cleveland's bigs open up opportunities for Ellis by using staggers and drags. Next up is his propensity to finish at a high level around the rim. If Ellis takes you off the dribble upon being closed out on, don't be surprised if he charges right past you towards the rim and cocks it back to slam it down on your head, especially with his right and in transition. Just think about all the highlight reel worthy dunks off of Kevin Love outlet passes that could be possible if he was selected. His strong upper body allows him to finish through contact at the rim, as defenders often bounce off of him. Defenders have to be careful when attacking him on closeouts because he can drive right past them and be at the rim at the blink of an eye due to his ability to take long strides. And speaking of those long strides, just take a look at how easily he can Euro step his way to the rim. One aspect of his game that aids him in finishing is his skills as a backdoor cutter. Now I want you guys to imagine this. A play is designed in order to get Ellis an open attempt in the corner by having a ball handler drive right into the paint and kick it out, but the defense immediately collapses on the driver, leaving Ellis too open, and he makes the decision to cut towards the rim and receives the ball just in time for an uncontested layup. This is something that worked very well at Alabama and could carry right on over to the NBA. And if your team misses a shot, he can also come out of seemingly nowhere and put the ball back in with ease off of an offensive rebound. Okay, now you guys know what time it is. I must try and poke some holes in Keon's game. First up is his lack of a skill set as a facilitator. This is evident upon seeing him use entirely wrong angles when attempting to throw a pass around a defender or thread the needle when necessary. A common occurrence of his would be his habit of throwing passes while airborne, which defenders can often see coming from a country mile away, resulting in pretty bad turnovers. Next is the fact that he will likely need offense to be created for him, and that means a general lack of ISO sets. You likely aren't going to see him try anything fancy with the ball in his hands, let alone pull-ups off of the screen or roll. His shot is just flat when he attempts to do so. And if the guy can't separate from bigs, I highly doubt he'd be able to do so against wings and guards at the next level, so one-on-one switches are going to be mostly out too. And last but certainly not least is his overall strength. Look guys, due to his size and length, Ellis can be a solid mismatch defensively versus guards, but he can get bodied versus big wings because of his frame. So all in all, Keon Ellis has areas in which he will need to improve, as all young players do at this point. But it's pretty clear though what he could bring to the table if selected by Cleveland, and that is a 3-and-D style of play. There is no ISO in his bag, so most of his offense will likely come from others generating looks for him, like spot-up attempts and movement shooting off of the bigs. And with that said, it's perfectly fine for the team to grab someone with this type of skill set, with a potential list of players that will need the ball in their hands on the roster, growing with Colin Sexton possibly rejoining the Cavs for the 2022-23 season and beyond. So why not take a swing?